It is now time to explain to people just what's wrong with me. Yay!
Yo, Jimmy James, what's up? This is your boy Mickey Cartel, man. I just let you know, man, I am a California boy, man. I was born in Los Angeles. Then we migrated to Sacramento. And then from Sacramento, we migrated to Florida. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, we lived on the road for a long time, man. I'm like, shit, I ain't gonna give up my age, but I'm an OG, you heard me? But yeah, man, I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate you tuning in. I made sure to click that bell, man, to subscribe to you, man, the favorite. You know what I'm saying? I'm following your podcast, man. Haven't got a chance to listen to any episodes yet, but I'm finna tune in. You best believe it, man. Jimmy James, your boy Mickey Cartel, I'm out.
Jimmy James, just to let you know, podcast has been sent. Hopefully you like it. Let me know.
Alright, so just to talk about my title real quick before I get into anything is my last podcast on December 28th. It's a bonus edition, alright? It talks about West, the guy West that I met who, he's not homeless, but he, hustles on the street, but he don't do anything in a bad way. You guys heard what I recorded. So you can go back and listen to that on Wes, Cody, Leisha, Eric, Diana, Marie. Now, Cody is just somebody out there, another podcaster. I'm going to be doing more of these. The Daily Chat with Cody Lewis. You guys, was part of it, what I left out there. You can go check him out. Also, all the links that of these people, except Wes, because he's not a podcaster, are of these wonderful people are in the description. Leisha, let's talk about it. Welcome with Leisha. We're supposed to be doing something. Very down-to-earth woman. Been talking to her on Messenger. Eric and Diane, they have a podcast, Dysfunctional Duo, which obviously you guys heard me talk about, and you can hear Eric dropping a saying that, hey, we dropped my messages that I sent to them before I really started talking. And, I apologized. I still feel like an ass because I got his name wrong. Because I said Chris, and I have a buddy in real life, Chris. And, I'm bad with names. You guys already know this. I've been bitching about it forever. So, thank you, Eric, for putting that out there. And Diane, they do great podcasts. They just started not too long ago. But they got a lot better because I guess they used, started boosting up their audio, which is great. Then we got Maria Humphreys, which she has been doing podcasts for years now, and she hit me up out of nowhere. So sometimes I throw messages up out there, and I'll get some back, and we're all out there just trying to support each other, and you guys already know that story. So that's why I made that title. And then the Rough Guess Who version, yeah, dude, I really wanted to do that, but I should have probably went to bed because I was up for over 24 hours working in my basement. And I know today is the day I usually drop something out, which I will. So I get on my Facebook, I check everything out, try to find a topic, and crazy enough, sorry about my chair. I still got a WD-40 this chair. If you're keeping up with my WD-40 habits, I cannot seem to get this chair. It's one of those chairs you lean back in an office. It's weird because, I don't think it's a WD-40 problem. WD-40. By the way, I already have the next title. And it is. It's going to be what is need? God, I didn't even spell the what up. What is need? Yeah, I think that is it. What is need? With a question mark. So that's a little preview. All right, now I'm gonna get on to Mr. Oh God, I'm sorry. I got so many things up right now. I'm trying to get to the podcast because I was just looking at his podcast. He was telling me on Dead Homies and Enemies. It's a podcast. It's actually DHNE podcast. I was listening to his latest one, the Traffic Stop Trial Update. That's something, that he's going through. So you got to stop by and listen to that. But he's been podcasting since February, and he puts a lot out. You know, they're roughly averaging around 20 minutes. Some are a little higher, some are a little lower, 10 minutes. That's just ballparking off the top of my head. But so I'm trying to rush this out because I'm trying to keep it under 5 minutes so I could switch over and do the real show with my Dobie on. But I will have a podcast by tonight, and I appreciate everybody out there who's hit me, followed me back, went to that extra time to go to Spotify. And I think you should do a rating for somebody, even though, like I said, I'm up in the air with the ratings. So everybody that I'm mentioning, I want to ask you a question about the ratings. I'll get into, and this is everybody, and I don't want to go and do each message to everybody. So, all right, that's enough time for now. I'm gonna ask about the ratings, and then I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out, much love, take care of one another until next time. Hey guys, about to do the podcast. I wanted to share just this one thing with you.
But also our subconscious likes to justify. And what I mean by that is, like, if you have an internal belief, I think I've kind of talked about these kind of topics before in the past, but if you have an internal belief about a certain thing, so pretend that you think that your life is horrible or that the day is super bad and it's the worst fucking day of your life. You're going to look for evidence, just the way that your brain makes sense of things, and that's why often we get flustered when we don't know the answers.
Want to cut it off, I could just listen to that. Yeah. So before I even tell you anything, that is Brandy Marie. Brandy Marie. And her podcast is called Create My Headspace. Okay? She topples, I'm trying to think, she tackles, there we go, she tackles a lot of mental stuff. Now I listened to her first podcast. I had to like skip a little, but then I'm like, let me go to her last one because I just seen her hit up the Facebook group. I don't think I've ever seen her before. One of the groups for podcasting. And we got to talking right away. And I was like, I have ADHD, or something came up where I was like, I have ADHD. And if you message me through Facebook, like, I hate texting. And I was explaining that. But before I even messaged her, like, through voice, I guess, just a regular, old message, she messaged me first. And I didn't find it weird. I was like, oh my God, thank God, somebody out there who doesn't have to like, it's nice to hear somebody's voice, because in a text, especially people who are like us, ADHD, ADD, that all that kind of, a lot of us have this, and it's a lot of people go, well, you're empaths, or you're empathetic. Everybody has that. Everybody is an empath to some degree, but some of it, like on me, will fall a lot. So much so where I'll bury it so deep where I might not even make it. It's hard to say because I was going to talk about this on this podcast, but I'll get into it more. With my relationship, my last relationship, I really just buried a lot of it, and I didn't forget it, I buried it. But then this person also was the same way, and she was saying, oh, you're not an empath, you're not this and you're not that. And I'm sitting there just like, I didn't want to say nothing. Like, I never yelled at her, I never argued. I might have raised my voice, and I felt like apologize right away. And with that point I'm trying to get on is that there's so many people out there like us, and that's something I just wanted to get a good kick in the ass, because I was like, I almost started doing a podcast and totally forgot the reason why I was doing it. So I want to thank Brandy and others out there. You guys know who I'm talking to, all the people I've talked to in the past week or two. that really was just like saying just kind words. And I just talked to Brandy, like I said, not even an hour ago, and I think we're gonna do some more. So that's like number 4 on podcasting with other people. And I'm gonna tell you something. It feels great. This is something that money cannot buy. You know, it's that connection, and it doesn't matter if it's with a guy or a girl or a couple. It's like you're just connecting and you're opening up. You're getting a look like through the looking glass or a secret window of this is your life. I understand it, but like this is my room. What's your room look like? You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, but on a different level. I don't want to use certain words because then people might think, oh, you're trying to say you're better or more special. I was gonna say evolved, more evolved, and when I say that, I mean that in a way like I'm not going to flip out or go nuts or yell at somebody because they might have bumped into me or whatever. You know what I mean? Like at a bar or something. I can understand if you're drunk and you shouldn't be drinking if you're a fucking asshole. I gotta listen more to this because I just wanted to stop right there and be like, that was a big part, of what she was saying. And then I started going down the ADH rabbit hole in my head, and I'm like, damn, I really don't have a lot of female listeners according to this analytic shit. And I can understand why. Because I got off topic. I remember I had like 90% male or, whatever, and then like 10% were female. And then it dropped to like 3 was the lowest. And now I think I'm at like 6. But regardless, it's not about because I want more female listeners. It's that I need to understand that I am just talking out into this void and about certain subjects, and I don't want this person to turn away because it's just some dude talking. He don't understand. He don't have emotion. I promise you, I feel it all the time. And maybe it was because I was raised with a lot of women, 2 sisters, mom, and then I went to my grandmother's. I was raised around a lot of women. I don't hit women. I've never done that. That's the one time where I think I would just drop my composure. If I've seen like a guy hitting a woman, I would probably fucking kill him. Or you would have to get people to pull me off of him. No matter the circumstances, unless obviously she's trying to kill the dude or something, and it might be like, yo, lady, can you not kill him? It would be very hard. And that's not saying that a woman can't take care of herself. That's just the way I was brought up, and that's what I was touching base on. And there's some women out there that will be able to beat their boyfriend's ass, and they know it. And that's today's world. But you go back anything from the 80s and beyond that, back before that, it was mostly, you're a woman, you belong, not the 80s, I'm a little further back than that, maybe the 60s or the 50s, I guess. I don't know when it dropped out, but women belong in the kitchen, and then it was a joke in the 80s and 90s. That's what I was getting at. I remember I was younger, I would make jokes like that, like, get in the kitchen where you belong. I knew that was a joke. And anybody who knew me knew that I never meant what I said if it was joking. And if I ever really want to say something, they would know because I would get into my serious tone. Otherwise, I would throw 10 jokes into what I was saying, or just bullshit around. So I just wanted to say sorry to people out there who have listened to me and maybe stopped listening. Females, male, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you are, because maybe I was just going off the rails with my show. And I was thinking about that a couple days ago. So I just wanted to take this little bit of time out there and say I hope you guys come back. And to answer, I don't know if I said this, but I don't smoke weed anymore. I did that before I started taking my medicine, so I did smoke weed for the first couple shows I did. I mean, I don't really like weed because of the way it makes me feel, but I mean, sometimes I could smoke it and then like I'm good, and then I won't smoke it for a long time. But yeah, I think like that train is gone now because I haven't smoked weed in years, and then I think it was about 9 years, and then I smoked it doing the podcast because I thought maybe this would make me feel comfortable. But yeah, I stopped smoking after. I forget. I gotta find the show, but it was only like a month or two. I forget. I honestly forget, but it wasn't too long. All right, well that's it on that, and I just wanted to sidetrack back to give you guys a little thing on that, and go listen to Brandy and create my headspace. Like always, take care of each other, one another. This is Jimmy James saying stick around for the show. What is need?
Podcast titles. It is What's Up? That's Jimmy James, and you're in the right place if you click this. Behold the secrets I hold in my hand in writing that I wrote down. As you can hear the papers turn, I have written down. Number 11, going viral. First to make it happen from podcasting alone. Has anybody ever gone viral? Nah. From podcasting. Then I wrote, LOL, LMAO. Just joking. Maybe. Fuck it. I'll do it. Nah, fuck off. I'm not gonna do it. Fuck it. I gave it my word. Now I wrote it down. I'll own it. Now I'm gonna own it. See? And, that's what's gonna happen. So from a year, I'm going to start, but now, until the beginning of next year, 2023, I will be way up there, and I am going to walk you through it. Number 14 on this crazy ass list. What is need? The title of this podcast. What is it to be human? What is it to be human? Seriously. Ask yourself that. I'm actually asking the question and I'm thinking about it. See, I write this down when it pops into my mind, like, what is it to be human? But I don't go and think of like what I could say. So I kind of challenge myself. Now I can easily go on the internet, look up many things that I've done in the past before, like what's this, what's that, but what is it to be human? Did you ever hear the speech in The Matrix? I will play it. It is my favorite speech. Coming up, sorry it's not going to be in this greatest quality of audio, but coming right up will be the speech from The Matrix. We all know. And not just because they dropped a new movie. I'll get into that some other time. I'm not a movie channel guy like that. I like lines and skits. But first listen to this. And this is what it is to be human, in my opinion.
And here we go.
I'd like to share a revelation that I've had during my time here. It came to me when I tried to classify your species. I realized that you're not actually mammals. Every mammal on this planet instinctively develops a natural equilibrium with the surrounding environment, but you humans do not. You move to an area and you multiply, and multiply until every natural resource is consumed. And the only way you can survive is to spread to another area. There is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern. Do you know what it is? A virus. Human beings are a disease, a cancer of this planet. You are a plague, and we are the cure. I'm going to be honest with you. I hate this place, this zoo, this prison, this reality, whatever you want to call it. I can't stand it any longer. It's the smell, if there is such a thing. I feel saturated by it. I can taste your stink. And every time I do, I fear that I've somehow been infected by it. It's repulsive, isn't it? I must get out of.
Yeah, and we're not getting too much into the movies. I know that was a scene from The Matrix, but that was the only thing I can think of right off the bat when it said, number 15, what is it to be human? That should pretty much clear up everything else. Moving on.
Alright, getting back to number 16. But before I do, I want to give a shout out to my boy from California there who hit me up. Thank you for that message. It was beautiful. He's been all around. He does DE, stands for his Dead Homies and all that stuff. You can go check him out. I've dropped a link for him either on the last podcast. If I didn't, I will drop it on this one. Also giving a shout out to Mr. Eric. I guess I was gonna say Mr. Dysfunctional Duo, but I mean he does with his wife, so dysfunctional duo. I'm just this dysfunctional solo. Yeah, no. So yeah, obviously, thank you for hitting me up, putting me on your podcast. I'm gonna tell you something. Side note, before I get into 16, I'm only spend like 10-15 seconds on this. Editing, doing podcasting, and trying to talk to almost everybody that does podcasting is kind of impossible. I would need a staff to start yelling at them eventually. Alright, well, with that being said, thanks guys, I appreciate that, and obviously, what comes around goes around. You shoot me out, I shot you out. Shout out, I keep forgetting to talk about that, but I will, and that's gonna be something that I want to talk about. I actually might just make a podcast episode with that. So getting back to 16, getting on with this what is neat thing, I think the movies are evolving accordingly. Okay? Just right. Behind the scenes, I don't know. But in the movies, you could see there's a lot more spiritual, human-esque behind movies nowadays. I'm not talking about if they're making like an old Western, but maybe this is me growing up too. I don't know, being older with a little bit more wisdom than I did a decade ago. You know, I've been on this planet almost 4 decades. Jesus Christ. Where are you? Anyway, it's evolving into a good thing. I mean, some of these TV shows I got into, like 13 Reasons Why, and, I'm not bashing them. I think that's, good that they're putting the word out there, but I couldn't remember this one show I seen real quick to get into the movie talk for a second, but it was a high school, and they were the kid was ashamed that he took pills, like, for, his whatever the hell he had. Fucking ADD. Of course they all have ADD. Anyway, he was so ashamed, and then they, the girl who knows everybody who takes everything, because she knows everything, this girl comes up and oh, you don't have to be ashamed. This person takes this, and they, start shooting up the prescriptions, like on the TV, like in like little box windows, like text messages of what each kid is taking. I forget the name of the movie or show. And I'm like, holy fuck. First of all, nobody should know that much about everybody. I mean, when I was in school, I would see people every day and I would just be like, yo, like, I'm not gonna say, yo, what's up? I just seen you, dude, yesterday. If anything changed since then from now, I mean, I'm sure you would tell me, yeah, my grandmom lost her leg. She was swimming. Shark came off and bit it off. Fucking nasty. She alright? No, she's dead. Wow. So why'd you just tell me she lost her leg? I don't know. I just thought, you figure you lose your leg, you figure there's more to the story. You should have just said my grandmother's dead from a shark. You know what I mean? Like, things like that. We were dumb like that. I do have an episode in the making. Is fucking good. It's going to be like my life, but, oh god, I really don't want to talk about it. I honestly don't. I've been delaying and pushing it off so much. So that's, saying a big hooray to the movies. Good job on evolving and showing a little bit more human touch on everything, and behind the scenes, I don't know. So number 17 is 0.0.1% of the 1%. Okay? That's over, I'm gonna just ballpark 3,500 plus billionaires in this world. There is 3,500 plus billionaires. I've talked about this, but I'm going to get on to different something here. Now, that leaves about 7.5. I'm just going to throw out there 7.5. They say there's 8 billion people, 7.8, 7.5. I'm just saying 7.5, 7.8, whatever. 3,000 people is nothing. Ooh, this planet's a little heavy, you know what I mean? Other planets, really, you guys are pretty fat, you know what I mean? Better shave that fucking weight off about, 3, 4, maybe 4.5 billion pounds. Fucking people. Yeah, just really think about that. How many people were here back in the 80s and 90s versus right now? I remember growing up, I talked about this, it was like 4.6. 20 years later, not even 20 years later. What are we up to? Almost 8 billion. Like, we're at 4 billion in 20 years. And I'm telling you, we only have like $1 to $1.35 left on this planet. Okay? In my lifetime, at 39, we're gonna be out of fucking oil. So 20 years, 4 billion people. Okay, give or take like a couple 100,000, but 4 billion, 20 years. So in 2043, I had to do big numbers there, big numbers in math. If we're doubling, but we're not going to double because we're going faster than doubling, I'm going to say another 5 billion. So at that rate, we're at 13 billion people. 12.5 in 2043. Isn't that disgusting? Where are we putting these people? It's like, I don't know. It's like having a 2-bedroom home, 1 kid, guy and a wife, wife and a wife, guy and a guy, whatever. You have a kid, there's 3 people, and like 10 people show up your door. Like, we just need to crash here until we're dead. That's pretty much, we're fucked. And I will go ahead and light my cancer stick to that. And a lot of people that I've talked to, I really don't feel like uploading. I gotta stop this at 10 before I get into the next bit, because it's not numbers after this. But I was gonna say, a lot of people that I talk to really want to ask me some personal questions about how I'm doing a show about growing up without parents mostly, and then one ADHD. I'm gonna try to work on that, and I don't know if Eric and Diane what they want to do yet. And it's still, we're gonna schedule this all for January if I'm still here. I'm still testing out that ceiling fan, looking pretty strong. By the way, if I didn't get back to anybody lately, I crashed out. I did 2 podcasts. I worked in the basement all night, like cleaning up, doing the odds and ends. I still got to get shit done, plus wash. I was fucking beat. Alright, so number 19. Take all, right now, just in your head, whatever. Pretend with me. Use your imagination. Number 19 is take all your TVs, cell phones, etc. away. What would you do? No electricity. Oh, and you can't read books because you need electricity to make them. You know what I mean? You would have to write shit down. And in a weird way, a pencil you don't need electricity, and paper you don't really need electricity. I mean, if you want to really get to the fucking brass tacks of it. But I mean, okay, you got books. We'll give you books. So take your TVs. All electricity just stops right now. We're out. First of all, this podcast would be ending. So everything stops right now. Hey, stick around for this Anchor ad sponsorship by the Jimmy James Show. A to Z, here we go. Alright, and we're back. Did you get worried, my friend? Alright, this is the last part of the show. We all need this. Need. The title. What is need? As humans, we need the moon. But, do you know it's moving away from us? Then what? The sun? Then what? Right this second, take it right this second, and think all you have, all your loved ones. If you don't have loved ones, then think about someone else, someone who don't have any of these things in today's world, society, whatever. What the hell? This is, these are my real God, you, me, space, the unknown, and what you think is known is just another unknown. So, with that being said, this is the last take right here. I'm titling this The Last Take. Take a pen or a pencil and write a poem or a story. And I dare you, I dare you to tell it. But make it real. Make the poem or story real with facts and at least 4,000 words, characters. 4,000 words, not characters, 4,000 words long. I do it all the time. Okay? Use APL if needed. That's Audio Lab Pro. I said APL, it's ALP, Audio Lab Pro. To copy and paste it there and copy and paste it there and put it on your show. See where this takes you. No matter if it, I don't know what the fuck that is. Oh, yeah, no matter if it rhymes. So, take it, put it on your show, no matter if it rhymes or not, or the story is or 21, 22, or even 5,000 years from now. Okay, so basically what I was trying to say in my shitty handwriting, so take your story, but keep it true, or poem, keep it with facts. story is now. You're writing it now, today. Or maybe 21, 22, that's 100 years from now, or even 5,000 years from now, one thing is absolute true. These poems, stories, whatever journey, I'm sorry, let me say that one more time. I really don't feel like editing this. So take your stories or your poems or whatever you write down, okay? They will journey out beyond our time, and maybe one day you will be heard again long after we are dead and gone. And I mean dead, like me, you, and the whole planet. Really think about what your truth will mean in the vastness of space and time, if time exists even. But in the end, you will be 100% part of it. So bring a little more than the truth with those poems or stories. Bring you along in the only truth us humans know for sure. Maybe not 100% it will get through, but at the very least it will travel through the ends of this universe. And that's we don't know. Okay, what I was trying to say there in a fucking shitty, because I wanted to do this myself, and I figured I'm not going to ask somebody to do something, I wouldn't do or attempt. So what I'm saying is bring your poems on this journey, okay? The truth of us humans. So like right now when I'm talking and all my other podcasts and all your podcasts, alright? And I apologize for me messing up here, but maybe not 100% of it will get through. What I'm saying is maybe whatever life form, or maybe it doesn't reach a life form. We don't know, right? But at the very least, it will travel through the ends of this universe. And that we don't know. I promise you this. Truth message will keep going. That's what we call it. The truth message. The last stand. Truth message will keep going until, well, what comes next? Only the future. That's 1,000,000% true. And nobody can take that from you. So this is what I want you to do without me looking at my scribbling handwriting. You don't have to take a pen and a paper. That's up to you. You can go to anywhere on your computer and type it. Put at least 4,000 characters. Words. I keep saying characters. Characters are like, 4 is like, the what? A word is a word. So do 4,000 words. I do it all the time. You guys hear it all the time. But every time I talk about something of truth, us humans know to a point that we think we have an idea that the Earth has been around for 4.6-ish billion years. We don't know that to be absolutely true. There's a lot of things that scientists say that kind of irk me. Okay, they say the Big Bang, and people believe, like, the Big Bang Theory. Alright, okay, but that's, everybody goes, well, it really wasn't a Big Bang. Well, no, actually, you don't even know if that was true. That is just the furthest that we could see back to our acknowledgement. That's where our time began. But we don't know this for sure. That is truth. Here's another truth. Scientists also say black holes come from where? You're guessing or you're saying stars. We do not know that. We do not know where black holes come from. That is our best guess. That's our best guesstimate. If you're a carpenter, you would say guesstimate. So you know what I mean. But I'll give you another one. I love astronomy. I could talk about it all day, but I talked about this a little bit. Do you know the distance from Earth to the center of our galaxy is roughly 20, you can look this up, roughly 25-ish, 26-ish, 27-ish thousand light years. 2 years ago, or less, I think, we thought it was around 32 to 35,000. Anyway, it was like a 5,000 year gap. Okay. Now, that's pretty close to us in space terms. So, how much can you believe what these scientists are saying? So, I am speaking truth, because no matter what, this will go into the universe, what I'm saying, and it will travel forever and ever and ever and ever until either two things happen I can think of off the bat. A black hole eats it up, right? And even then, supposedly, some escapes. But, let's just say, for now it doesn't. And then the other way it would end is if the universe just collapses on itself. They call it the big crunch. There's the big rip. These are all guesstimates of some of the world's leading experts. And I'm telling you that they're wrong. Not just a little bit, but a lot. They don't know about, like I said, the black hole. We don't know how the moon got there. We don't know why it always faces us. We have an idea because the Earth's spinning at such a rate and the moon is spinning. Like, the moon does spin, but we spin, right? So as we're spinning, the moon's spinning, and that's that. I think I talked to you guys about the birthday theory. You're never in the same spot twice, ever, at any single moment. Every second, you're in a different spot in the universe. So, if the world goes around, I talked about this, if the sun goes around, the sun goes around. If the earth goes around the sun goes around the solar system goes around the fucking galaxy, and the galaxy goes around, and the galaxies go around a bigger thing called the Great Attractor, which we're just starting to really acknowledge. And I think it's mind-bending, but people go, it's just too much. It's too much to think about. Well, guess what? I've thought about it. I have a lot of theories. Doesn't mean I'm right. I'm just saying theories are theories. I don't think the scientists are stupid because they don't know the difference between 5,000 light years. You know, like, I think that's a great thing. I just want you to think about one of the things I said was that 0.1% of the world. If the people who run this world are just broke, and I mean broke not in a money term, they're broken, they're just broke. I'm not saying every single one of them. There's some that really do give back. I don't know everything about them, because some of them will say, oh yeah, raise the taxes, blah blah blah, I don't mind paying more, but then you got your money in secret somewhere so it doesn't get taxed, so shut the fuck up with that bullshit. I never thought about money like that. If you're like, oh my god, I need money to get this, you don't need it, okay? You want it because you want it in order to pay for whatever, groceries, food, whatever. But you can live on the bare minimum. Now, the only thing I get from the government, and I never asked for it, was these fucking food stamp things. A lot of people are on them. I think the government should be doing a lot fucking more for their people, especially with all the taxes we pay. So, I mean, food should be free. Or, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say free. It should be, you should get a quantity of this to last you a month. But I don't know how much I get on mine, but I honestly don't. I know they raised it, but, gets me through the month, getting snacks and stuff at my store. But, how about family? I'm like, Jesus Christ, this wouldn't get me, maybe my wife, or if I don't have a wife, but a girlfriend and a kid, and maybe like a parent living with me or whatever, like, it's just ridiculous. Some of these people in poverty are just going through it, and we're over here sitting like, oh, podcasts, and let's like podcasts, and you hear me and I hear you, and that's a beautiful thing. You guys know this already. I'm just talking about something deeper, something that talking can only do so much, and impact. So if this is all we have, leave that message out there in the universe and see what happens. Because if you really do believe in karma, tell that story, okay? Put it on your podcast and publish it. Let it go all over the place. So that means it's going to be everywhere. And I mean everywhere. It may be 1,000,000 years from now, some alien civilization, it hits and it hears some woman, some man, or somebody talking about something, and they pick it up, they gotta decode it, or maybe they're just so in touch spiritually, which I also wanted to talk about with that podcast I shouted out with Brandy. She does the podcast. I'm sorry, I don't have it in my head right now because I'm so tired. But she was talking about, it was so weird too, because I talk about it all the time, like, just because you are more spiritually does not mean you're better than somebody. And she brought that up before I heard her podcast. So I was like, right when I heard that, I said, this is the person I can connect with, I could talk to, and she would understand. When I got another friend like that girlfriend of mine, nothing, actually we talked, I talked about she might be doing a podcast, but she does like 1,000,000 things. So hopefully she does one. Anyway, about to end it. That was a weird show I just did there, but yeah, this was supposed to be for Wednesday. I want to do something goofy. I don't know. Maybe this weekend. Who knows? Maybe I'll get on a show or get swayed in here. Do a show. We'll catch up. Alright, guys. Well, like usual, this is Jimmy James saying peace out. It is December 30th at 5:15 a.m. Yes, a.m. And I'm running way long, so I want to upload this and get off. You might not hear me. This probably will be the last episode of this year. So my story out there would be, we as a people are not perfect. We are growing. We are evolving. We are getting better. It is taking a lot of time. The one thing that we don't have that is always working against us, we blame it all the time. But it's not its fault. It's our fault. Everybody out there, if I don't do a podcast before the new year, have an amazing new year. Honestly. and every podcaster I talk to, thank you from the bottom of my soul. Thank you. You meant more to me than you absolutely could ever know, but I guarantee you understand. Take care of each other and one another and everybody. Take care of yourselves and each other. Sorry, I'm a little tired. Alright, this is Jimmy James saying peace out. Happy Kwanzaa. I hope you enjoyed every detail that I put into this show and the next or the one before. But that's not what this is for. This is taking a minute for me to tell you, please go follow me on Spotify. Hit the bell. You can even rate me. Go on Facebook and hate me. I don't care. Instagram. It's Unikiller X, the Jimmy James Show A to Z. Everything and anything. That's you and me. Take care. Peace out.
I'm Batman.